A hard-fought win in Carbondale, Illinois over the weekend as South Dakota gets a top 10 victory against Southern Illinois, 14-7. The final in that one, Strev, this was a very defensive game. Obviously, the score indicates that much. So we're not going to do much offense here today, but we've got J.J. Galbraith, who continues to shine in this offense. And there were a couple of great examples on Saturday, even in a day where there wasn't a lot of offense in total.
I love what he's doing, and we highlighted him last week, even in a week when there wasn't a ton of offense. But this week, you continue to see his role in the offense grow, right? So the first drive of the game, which resulted in a big touchdown for them, he makes a big explosive play. They motion him over to the field, put him on the line of scrimmage, and then on the other side, away from him, they're running double post, which takes out the corner and the safety. And then Galbraith runs a mesh route underneath and kind of climbs upfield from there. They're able to hit him on a big explosive play and a first down on a drive that eventually led to a touchdown. And then going into that fourth quarter drive that resulted in ultimately what was the game-winning touchdown, they ran a great play, and I love the play design here. So Southern Illinois had been running a quarters defense throughout the day, and when that happens, the backside safety gets his eyes on the number 3 receiver. And so what they do with Galbraith on this play is they run him up about 5 yards. He turns to the quarterback, settles his feet. The backside safety takes his eyes off of him, and then Galbraith goes right up the seam, puts him on a one-on-one matchup with the Mike linebacker, and they're able to hit him on a big explosive gain down the middle of the field. And again, just a great play design, and it's been really fun to see how his role in this offense has developed over the last few weeks.
Yeah, Galbraith on Saturday, 5 catches on 9 targets for 51 yards. He's now been targeted 20 times over the Yotes' last 2 games. He's already at career highs in catches with 30, receiving yards 403, and receiving touchdowns with 4. Pro Football Focus, as of right now, has him as rated as the number 3 tight end in FCS football. That's the kind of year J.J. Galbraith is having for South Dakota. Obviously, lots of defense to get to on this day. We have highlighted this defensive line. I know you've been in love with what that group has been doing all year. And there was one really shining example early in this game of the kind of effort they've been putting forth all year, and certainly a way that they contributed to this outcome on Saturday.
Yeah, it's the second drive of the game, which early in the game, they're setting the tone. And I think the defensive line made every single play on this drive. So the first play of the drive starts out, defensive line, of course, playing with great effort. Webb ends up getting a sack on the first play. Okay, Southern Illinois comes out the next play. They try to get back on track, throw a quick swing pass to the running back, and that's where Micah Roan gets his hand on it and deflects the pass. Now the offense is sitting in 3rd and 15, 3rd and extra. Very tough place for an offense. That's when 3rd down, they end up only rushing 3, and they run a twist with the right defensive end and the nose tackle where they're able to, run some gains and get leverage on the offensive line. And again, the effort just allows Webb and Nick Gaze to both get home and get a sack on that quarterback. And look, when you're able to get sacks and pressure on a quarterback early in the game from your defensive line, it kind of just sets the tone and makes a quarterback uncomfortable. And I think that's a perfect example of a drive that just epitomizes the effort that those guys play with.
Yeah, uncomfortable was a good word to describe how Nick Baker was feeling on Saturday. He was running for his life all day. But it wasn't just the defensive line that was getting after him. Shaheed Barrows had a quarter blitz, his first career sack of the day, and Brock Mogensen got into the act, and Mogi was playing a little different game than normal this week.
Yeah, he was. And we were just talking about, I love what South Dakota did this week. They did some different things. They brought some pressure. They had more 3-down fronts. And what they did on that play in the third quarter where Mogi got the sack is they had a 3-man rush. And they're playing their usual quarters coverage, which is 4 guys high, right? So both safeties are high, corners are high, and they're bracketing with the inside linebackers. That can leave you very susceptible to quarterback run. So what they did to combat that was they had a 3-man rush and actually just ended up spying the quarterback with Mogi. So his only responsibility is keying on the quarterback. Well, on that sack, the quarterback breaks the pocket, gets through the line of scrimmage. He's one-on-one with Mogi, kind of gives him a shake, and Mogi's able to make an outstanding open field tackle on a play that probably wouldn't have been a massive explosive play and got them deep into the red zone, and probably a play that may have gotten glossed over, but just a heck of a tackle, and just, again, epitomizes what they were doing from a game plan standpoint to try to contain a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, prevented a big play, as you said, and that drive ended up with a missed 41-yard field goal attempt for Southern Illinois, kept them off the board into the fourth quarter. Of course, that's where things got a little interesting. They got within 7, got the football back, and had a chance, had 4 cracks at it inside the 5-yard line against that vaunted red zone defense of the Coyotes. And once again, Travis Johansson's group comes up with a huge stop.
It's what they've been doing all year, man. This red zone defense has been unbelievable. I think Aiden mentioned it after the game, but the way that, they've given up yards. They've let teams get in the red zone, but the way that they're able to buckle down when they're deep in there, it's just been extremely impressive. So that last play of the game, the Yotes are playing man, and they end up passing off the crosser inside. So the player that's guarding him lets the crosser go, and he just ends up, kind of standing inside and waiting for somebody to come into his zone. Well, when that happens, offensively, you're able to get some leverage, because usually defensively, you're playing outside leverage knowing you have help inside. So they actually end up getting leverage on the dig inside. But the defensive line, again, is playing with great effort, and they're able to get back in the quarterback's lap and ended up tipping the ball, get an interception. It's just an outstanding play where, they're kind of playing a different defense that they usually don't play, and the defensive line, again, is able to disrupt the quarterback and make a game-winning play at the end. It was just amazing to see that effort and scheme come together there at the end of the game.
Perfect way to cap a unforgettable day for Brendan Webb, too. He was the guy that deflected that pass, as you said, and Blake Holden reaches those big paws up, hauls it in. Coach was joking yesterday about the fact he didn't have a great return on it, but I don't think he really cares, right? I mean, that's what sealed the game. They get out of there with a win, 14-7. They improved to 7-2 overall on the season, 5-1 now in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, with a third straight top 10 matchup coming up Saturday against North Dakota. Cannot wait to look back on that one in about a week's time, Chris.
Can't wait, man. Let's keep them rolling.